Hello traders and welcome back to the market crux. Moving average crossover. This is a very common concept. You must have heard about it. A lot of beginner traders start with crossover setups. They think that a short-term moving average and a long-term moving average, whenever they are crossing each other, a short-term crossing the long-term moving average from below is a sign of bullishness in the stock, and we should be trading that stocks upward. Same goes for a short-term moving average. When it's crossing from above the long-term moving average, we should be shorting the market, and the stock or the market is bound to go down. A lot of traders start their trading journey with this simple setup of moving average crossovers, and they miserably fail because of a lot of fake signals. Crossovers do happen quite frequently, but not each crossover gives us opportunity to maximize profits and trade profitably on crossovers. And that is why a lot of beginners starts with this and then end up as non-usable strategy or setup when it comes to crossovers. Today I'm going to cover a very unique way of how you should be trading crossovers very profitably, and stay tuned till the end of this video. You will be going to get a gold mine that is given for sure. So this is my way of trading crossovers. Quite many times I trade crossovers, and there are some key characteristics which we have to follow before going into the crossovers. What does happens when it comes to the crossovers? We will be covering just briefly about that. So I have just randomly picked up one stock and I'm going to plot some moving averages on this. A couple of which are my favorite moving averages and why I do use them, that is also I'm going to cover. But let's just start plotting some of the moving averages and understand what does happens when the moving average crossover happens on a particular stock. So this is TradingView, and we just search the moving average in the indicators, and I'll be using exponential moving averages for today's video. This is a setup which I used when I was a beginner trader, and till today I'm using this setup for quite of my trades, and there is a reason for that. I'll be going to give you details about those in a short while. So first, exponential moving average which we are going to use today is the 13 period exponential moving average, and you will get it a lot many places that very commonly a 13 period moving average, exponential moving average, is being used by a lot of professional traders. I will be sharing details that why it is. So first thing first, that many of you might be already knowing this thing, that the 13 is a Fibonacci number, and you can use any series like 13, 21, 34 because these are the Fibonacci series numbers, and Fibonacci has its own importance in trading. I'm not going into the details of those, you can very well Google, but 13 period is what I'm using. I have a different observation about using these moving averages, and that's something which I would be because of that I'm very confident at trading these specific numbers. So 13 and 34 I use quite frequently, and that is what I'm going to use today. Of course these are Fibonacci numbers, but then there is a big community of traders using it, and psychology of those traders matters a lot. We should be using moving averages which are common. So when it's exponential moving averages, 1334 is a set. If it is simple moving average, 2050 is the set. And why 2050 you should be using? The very simple reason, maximum traders use them when it comes to the daily time frame, daily candles time frame. A 20 period simple moving average is basically the average price, average closing price from last 20 sessions. So you can say that average monthly price. And a 50 period moving average is about a quarter actually. So about 3 months average closing price is 50, and so forth. So 200 moving average is the yearly average price basically, and that makes a lot of significance when you are using these numbers. So always ensure that you are using common numbers being used by a lot of traders already, and that is where the price action also happens, be it crossovers, be it taking support on those levels or those moving averages. So I'm using 1334 combination over here. You can practice which combination works best for you. This works best for me. Again, I'm going to give you examples from intraday trades. The very same concept can be used on any of the time frames. So you be it 15-minute, be it 4-hour candle, or be it a daily candle, you can utilize with the same setup, with the same parameters. So if you see over here, the moving average crossover happened at this place. It says that you should be shorting the position. If you are just following blindly the moving average crossover, just after few candles there is a crossover which is a bullish one. The short period moving average, which is 13 period over here, and the long period moving average are crossing each other. So if the short period is crossing from top, we will be shorting. If it is crossing from bottom, we will be going long for the positions. This did not materialize. Once again, there was one setup over here. It also did not materialize. You will not be able to make any profits in all such trades, no matter how good you are trading, how good you are executing your trades. But the key characteristic here is that the instrument itself is not giving you any opportunity to trade these crossovers. And the fundamental reason over here this is not happening because we do not have a established trend. To trade any of the crossovers, the key fundamental thing is to find the trending instrument first of all. The instrument, it should be trending. The price action should already be establishing a trend. Then only you will be able to successfully trade the crossovers. Now, a lot of people I have seen who again use these crossovers in a wrong way is that immediately when the crossover is happening, they will jump into the trade. So this is another problem, another reason because of which your trades doesn't really work out. So right way of trading crossovers is what I'm going to cover today. Again, for today we will be using a scanner. Again, onto the Chartink website. You should be watching my previous videos how you should be beautifully using the chartink.com as a scanner to find right stocks to trade. Pretty much all setups, even its price action, even if it's based on some sort of indicators, you will be able to create scans on this site. I do use it frequently, and I suggest all the traders should be using it frequently to filter out stocks which you should be focusing on to trade. So let's create a very simple scan over here that will give us right set of stocks on which you should be looking for crossover setup. Okay, so I am going to create this scanner step by step. All the rules I'm going to cover, and you should be carefully following me. So first of all, I am not going to trade all the stocks which are listed in Nifty. We will be shortlisting broadly on the futures segment. Again, the same reason: higher liquidity, better price action, better traders, interest into all these stocks, and because of which we will be using these stocks basically. So futures segment only. Then I want all the stocks which are trading greater than the 200 rupees price. So we should not be trading stocks which are in 50 rupees, even it's 100 rupees price. Let's shortlist stock because this is a very simple scanner. Otherwise you will be getting too many stocks to trade on actually. So we need to have a limited number of stocks on which we should be focusing. So any day you can run this particular scanner at any point of time, not before 9:30 a.m. After 9:30 you should be running this. Initial 15 minutes there is a lot of volatility into the market. Let it settle, let the individual stocks find their trend for the day, be it bullish or bearish, and then we will be looking for our trades. So 200 rupees is the minimum price. Above this, the stock should be trading before we enter into the trade. Now, as I said that we should be having stocks which are trending, not moving sideways like this. To find one very simple way to find trending stocks is to look for the average true range of the stock. What is the daily range of the stock? How many points this stock, a particular stock, is moving on an average per day? Now, being an intraday trader, we don't really want to go into a lot of lengthy history of the average trading range, but then we should be looking for a smaller period average true range. So I'm going to use indicator called ATR, that's average true range, and here by default you will be getting 14 days average true range. So I am going to cut it short to 5 days. Last 5 days I'm looking for a very specific characteristic, that the average true range of that stock should be greater than the current market price multiplied by 0.03%. That means 3% momentum average on a particular day should be there from last 5 days. Okay, so a 100 rupees stock which is priced at 100 rupees should be at least giving 3 rupees momentum during the day, and we can categorize or shortlist these stocks as a stock which has momentum right now. It is not trading sideways, it is not in the consolidation, there is some good momentum. Either it's upside or downside or it's swinging, we don't care, but yes, momentum is the key characteristic which we are looking for with this filter. Very simple over here. And if I run the scan, you will find like today there were about 25 stocks which had exhibited this characteristic, that the average true range for these stocks was more than 3% of the stock's price. Okay, not every stock will be trending today. So this is something which we are actually finding on the basis of last 5 days average true range. Now what I have to do is I have to find out a stock which has already showing characteristics of trend today. So what I'm going to do is basically I'll be putting another filter criteria over here, which is basically we are going to use a function called absolute value. So I don't care whether it is up move or a down move. What I need is that a stock which has the latest close, the current market closing is having difference from the previous close. So today's current market price minus yesterday's closing price, and this is basically going to give us a difference, that what price, say at present the stock is trading at 102 rupees, yesterday closing was 100 rupees, so this will give us a difference of 2 rupees. Let's take another example, that the current market price is 98 rupees and yesterday's closing was 100 rupees, so this will give you -2, which with the help of absolute function we are converting into a positive value. So in both cases this function will return us a value of 2, positive 2, and this should be greater than the current market price multiplied by 0.01. What I am doing right now is simply I am asking the scanner to shortlist stocks which are trading currently 1% above or 1% below the yesterday's closing price. So any stock, when you are running this scanner around 9:30, 9:45 or 10 a.m., a stock which has already moved 1% up or down from previous day's close is the stock which we will term as a trending stock for today. And I am just filtering out all such stocks. Run the scanner. Just give me 1 second. There is a small mistake, so we have to make it 0.01 over here. And let's run the scanner. And you got about 14 such stocks which have exhibited this thing, that 1% momentum has been done from yesterday's closing. These are the only 3 simple rules we have to follow over here, and you will find a list of stocks which you can trade on. So let's plot the same moving averages on some of the stocks, and let's see what happened with these stocks during today. Also, I will be covering rules to trade these particular stocks basis on the moving average crossovers. So I'm selecting randomly over here India Bulls Housing Finance, and let's just go over here and check what has happened with India Bulls Housing Finance today. Okay, so if you see, there is a clearly different scenario over here. If you see, the stock is exhibiting a bullish momentum since yesterday. Now we have to club a few things over here. Carefully listen this thing. We have to club few things over here. That is basic price action is what we have to take care of. So around 9:30, 9:35, if you have run the scanner, you will find that the stock is trading in this range over here. Now what I have to do is I have to find out couple of key characteristics for this stock. First is what is the day's high. So this is the high of today, this candle over here, and what was the low was made over here. So these are the key price points for me where I'll be looking. As I said that we will be looking for trend. So trend is something which we have to take care of with the help of identifying the range, and then we will be looking for breakout of that particular range. So this is the range. The first candle was a big one, and then stock was consolidating within this candle. This is a crossover which I got over here. Shall I short this stock over here? With the reference of previous day, it is clearly evident that this is the zone over here which has respected so many times as a support on the previous day. Okay, so shorting this stock on these candles over here is risky. Stock is exhibiting the bullish momentum, and it has tested already this zone many a time, so we should not be trading this on the short side. What I will do, I will be waiting and I'll be looking for a upside entry. Okay, so if you see over here, there is another bullish crossover happened, and thereon, if you now we will not be, as I mentioned already, that the immediate crossover, I will never enter into a trade. Nobody should be entering in a trade on the immediate crossover. Let it prove that it is going beyond certain resistance and there is a good price action happening for the stock. So when this candle happens, this is my confirmation candle that yes, now I should be looking for this stock as a bullish stock. But shall I enter over here? Still, I will not be making a trade entering over here. Where will I enter? Let it consolidate. It will be on our watch list. Let it consolidate and let it retrace. The key characteristic I will be looking for is that whether it takes a support on my moving averages or not. So support taken, support taken, support taken, and then I know that this was the day high. Next time, whenever this stock is going to break my day high over here, I'll be entering in the trade. So this is the right place where I will be entering in this particular trade on this particular candle. And if you place a buy order over here, where will be your stop loss? So ideal stop loss is always below the last swing low. This is the last swing low. There I'll be putting my stop loss. If you don't want to take that much risk, you know that the long-term moving average, the 34 period moving average has proven as a proper support. My stop loss will be below this over here. Initial profit target will be 1:1. In this case, 217 to 218.85, about 0.5% plus, about 0.69% over here. And here you will be de-risking your trade. So within 5 minutes, you can de-risk your trade. Whether this has given us 1% momentum or not, 1% is the ideal which we are looking for intraday. So most of your trades, you should be looking for 1% return least. And that is what we are easily achieved over here. So not necessarily that the crossover happened and we should be immediately jumping into the trade. That's a mistake. Never do that thing. Let the price action establish the trend and then we will be entering into the trades. So here if you see what kind of reward has been given by this trade. So this is 1:3.8 risk to reward, and about 2.62% was given over here by India Bulls Housing Finance. This makes it a perfect trade. Let's go back and check for another example. So Godrej properties is I'm going to check once again. And let's see what has happened with the Godrej properties. So if you see over here, this is slightly different in terms of price action. And some rules will remain same. So let's just make sure that where are the support or resistances basically for Godrej properties. So if you see Godrej properties was a gap up opening. There was a crossover already yesterday. This stands valid still. In a trending stock, a crossover happened previous day is a valid crossover, and we can always take our intraday trades on those crossovers as well. Now I'm marking few things which are basic price action once again. So if you see, this was the zone of resistance over here coming from day before yesterday. So this is the zone of resistance up till this point. It was resistance, resistance, resistance. Market dropped from here and broke out, came back to test this zone. So now for today, this is my area of support. I will not be taking any trade while the market is running into this area. What I want is a proper breakout from this zone. And as you know that this is a bullish crossover, we should be looking for buy entry only. So where will my entry will be? Let it break out up till this point. Let it retrace and make sure that we are actually holding the supports with the help of moving averages over here. So both of my moving averages are holding as a support. This will be my entry candle over here, and I'll go long on this candle with a stop loss just below my 34 period moving average. 1:1, as I said, is the first thing we will be looking for. 1% on the stock price is the second thing we will be looking for. 1% given over here on this candle. Book your profits. How many points? From 1424.25 to 14, about 1440. So a 1400 rupees stock, a 14 points move, 1% done. Good enough. Book your profits. Now it seems that why should I wait for such a long period? Why can't I enter into this zone over here? This is still my moving averages are showing upwards trend. Still the market is looking bullish. The stock is looking bullish. I should be entering over here, here, or even here. The problem is that again the same zone which I have marked earlier. So this was the resistance zone. This could again be a resistance zone. What happens if the market breaks down from here? What would you do? Where will be your stop loss? The immediate next stop loss comes right over here below this zone. It will be too wide a stop loss if you enter on this area. You will be taking a stop loss about 1.79%, which is too big for intraday. And that is why we should not be trading into this zone. We should always be looking that let the zone break, let this breakout happen, let the retracement happen, and we will make sure that the trend continuation is happening, and this is where we will be taking the trade. This will increase the probability of exiting with profits multifold. All right, let's take one more example on the short side. So let's see, Ramco Cement was one of the stock which was on the negative side for today. Let's see whether there was a good price action and trend established over here. Well, this was a negative trade, but I would not take the trade. You know that this is not the area where we should be taking the trades because extreme bullish move. We haven't have any crossover on the short side over here. So we will not be taking the trade. This is the first crossover. I will wait. I'm not gonna trade this one. Also, once this thing has happened, just give me one sec. Okay, so once zone this zone over here and this zone, every single time when the stock is hitting this particular area, it is bouncing back and bouncing back strongly, which signifies that to make proper profits we need to break this zone, and there only I can take a trend continuation trade. How would that trade look like? Let it break like this, retrace and continue. If this happens, I will take a trade somewhere over here with a stop loss above the zone. That will make it a right trade. That did not happen for the entire day. We will not be taking this stock. Any short opportunity you should not be taking into this stock. All right, so not every stock will be a valid stock just because there is a crossover happening. We have to make sure that the confluence is there. We have to make sure that the price action is supporting. Use the scanner, test it for some days. Once you save this scanner, you will get the historical data, the past data as well. So let's just save it. MA crossover. Let me save it. I will share the link of this scanner in the description of the video. You can just refer the link and you will get this screener available at your end. Run it anytime during the day and find out which stocks we should be looking for moving average crossover type of trades. And you will get historical filter criteria, stocks which are historically showing good momentum with this scanner. Back test it and share your findings in the comments box. If you like the video, please like it on YouTube, share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching and stay tuned. Let's connect once again sometime soon. Thank you.